Sorry truly seems to be the hardest word, including for the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong. I mean, she's come out today and she said sorry if people experienced, for how people may have experienced her visit to Israel, in which she didn't actually visit any of the sites where the terror attack happened on October 7. I mean, that's a non-apology too, isn't it?
Exactly right. Look, this government has never been fair dinkum about protecting Jewish people. Frankly, I don't think it's been fair dinkum about standing up for Australian values, and I don't think this government gets it. I think we've got a government of social justice activists. We don't have a government which is serious about keeping Australians safe. There's no one in this government who appears to be a national security warrior, and frankly, a credible government in these perilous times needs at least a few national security warriors in senior positions, but I can't see any of them at all.
The Prime Minister is still resisting calls which are growing for a National Royal Commission. He says there's already a State Royal Commission that Chris Minns, the New South Wales Premier, has committed to. He's launching a review into security agencies and intelligence agencies that will be essentially internal, not independent. Why do you say that a Royal Commission has to happen on a federal level?
Only a Royal Commission can subpoena documents, compel witnesses and get to the bottom of this whole sorry mess. Now, I can understand why the Prime Minister doesn't want to have a federal Royal Commission, because he's frightened of what will come out. I think he's frightened that there will be advice that went to government, which we currently don't know about, that warned of the likelihood of terrorist events. There may well be WhatsApp messages between the Prime Minister and ministers which have been making light of the whole anti-Jewish hatred which has been rampant in our community for the last 2 years. This current inquiry that the Prime Minister has commissioned is simply a cop-out. It's basically the Prime Minister looking into the Prime Minister. I don't think we can expect any real insights to come from that. And while a New South Wales Royal Commission is certainly better than nothing, and again, all credit to Chris Minns for doing it, the Jewish hatred that we've seen is a national problem. It's not just a New South Wales problem. That's why, if the Prime Minister is finally going to be fair dinkum about making a difference, he really has to have a National Royal Commission. He says there'll be cooperation between the Feds and a State Royal Commission, but a State Royal Commission, I think, will have enormous difficulty actually getting to the bottom of this because it won't be able to compel the production of witnesses and documents from inside the federal system. Mind you, as long as the State Royal Commission is going, the Prime Minister will have an excuse to avoid answering questions, because he can say, oh, it's all being looked into by a State Royal Commission. Look, this whole thing, again, it's a Prime Minister who is trying to avoid responsibility for the terrible things that have happened on his watch, and which, quite frankly, government actions and inactions have contributed to.
You know, on that, we saw the Prime Minister in his press conference today talk about some of the reaction he got, the reception he got at this event last night to mark 1 week since the terrorist attack. And the way he put it was that he understood and accepted that there was some anger being directed towards him in the community. Again, it feels like he is dodging accountability here, or he's just trying to minimise his own role in this.
Yeah, it's one thing to accept people are angry. What about doing something to eliminate the causes of that anger? I mean, from the beginning, we should have had hate preachers being deported or prosecuted. We should have had these hate marches banned. We should have had funding to Islamist bodies eliminated. We should have had a much greater stress on Australian values because, quite frankly, this is a government which has not just let down Jewish people, it's let down all of us. What's been happening over the last 2 years, it's not who we are. We need to restore decency and pride and self-respect to our country, and this cavalcade of weakness from the Prime Minister is just not going to cut it.
Mr Abbott, I know that you were watching the coverage of the event last night. Were there any parts from others who spoke during the ceremony, any parts of that event that moved you in particular?
Well, look, he's not the Prime Minister, he's the Premier. But obviously, I think Chris Minns has faced up to the mistakes that the New South Wales government has made and is trying to remedy them. I think he is fair dinkum. Kelly Sloan obviously was there on the beach when the massacre took place, and she acted with selfless courage. So all credit to the two of them. I think we do have some real leadership in New South Wales. Let's see something remotely resembling leadership from the Prime Minister, because that in the end is what he's elected to provide.
Mr Abbott, thank you for your time. And I know a lot of people, both within the Jewish community and the wider Australian community, wish they did have a leader with your strength and moral clarity and power again during a time like this. Appreciate it.